Let's now take you around the world in WION Speed News, and starting with international stories first. Hopes for a quick vote on legislation to keep the US government operating beyond midnight hit a snag on Thursday when Republican Senator Rand Paul put up a roadblock to voting because he first wanted debate on his amendment to kill the measures increased for federal funding. It was unclear whether the Senate and House of Representatives would be able to pass a funding bill by midnight when existing federal funds expire without new funds. Federal agencies would have to be ordered to partially shut down. For the first time in 16 years, an orchestra from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea staged a performance in South Korean city of Gangneung on Thursday night, delighting hundreds of South Koreans with familiar tunes. The rare performance by the 140-strong Samjeon Orchestra, which was held at the Arts Center, came a day before South Korea opens the 2018 Winter Olympics game in Pyeongchang today. Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos has said that Colombia will tighten border controls with Venezuela and provide extra aid as hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans flee an economic crisis. Colombia is already spending millions of dollars to support the migrants. The number of Venezuelans living in Colombia increased 62% in the last half of 2017 to over 550,000. The Migration Authority had said that as their oil-rich country suffers runaway inflation and rising malnutrition. A dashcam video shows a Texas police officer being dragged away by a suspect speeding car on Wednesday. The video shows a deputy questioning a person inside a vehicle. The suspect then suddenly drives off, trapping the deputy's foot inside the car and dragging her with him. Williamson County Sheriff Robert Shoddy posted the video on Twitter, saying the driver was highly intoxicated and in possession of marijuana. He wrote the deputy is okay. An undercover investigator dressed as a jail officer was able to smuggle scalpel blades and drugs into the main city jails in Manhattan and Brooklyn. The report from the city's Department of Investigation, which examines misconduct by city employees, was issued on the same day that federal authorities in Brooklyn unsealed an indictment charging 2 correction officers and 5 inmates with smuggling drugs inside the Manhattan jail. Canadian members of parliament sang the new gender-neutral lyrics to their national anthem just hours after the change was officially enshrined in the law. The bill, which passed the Senate last week, changed the second line of O Canada's English version to In All of Us command from In All Thy Sons command. Many Conservative senators had expressed opposition to the lyric change, with some arguing that it should have been decided in a referendum. The new national anthem has already been sung by Canadian Olympics in South Korea. The police arrested 3 men suspected of enslaving 200 migrants on a British flower farm. Officials called this one of the largest crackdowns on the modern slave trade. The workers, mostly men from Lithuania, Romania and Bulgaria, are receiving help from charities after the raid. At least 13,000 people are estimated by the UK government to be victims of forced labour, sexual exploitation and domestic servitude. But the police say that the true figure is likely to be far higher. The lawyer of the prime surviving suspect of the 2015 Paris attack said that Salah Abdeslam should be acquitted of attempted murder during its shootout with police in Brussels in 2016 because of procedural errors. The lawyer told a Belgian court that the principal error was prosecutors' use of French rather than Dutch. Prosecutors in Belgium have charged Abdeslam with attempted murder over the Brussels shootout days before his arrest and called for a jail term of 20 years. He still faces a trial in France over the 2015 Paris attacks, in which 130 people were killed. Syrian government airstrikes have killed 59 civilians, including 15 children, and injured 139 others on Thursday, the 4th day of attacks against the rebel-held region of eastern Ghouta near the Syrian capital Damascus. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said warplanes pounded various parts of eastern Ghouta. There was no immediate comment from the Syrian army though. Israel and Lebanon have exchanged threats and condemnation of a border wall being built by Israel. Lebanon has described Israel's border wall as an aggression, saying it intrudes into Lebanese territory. Israel says the wall will be entirely on its side of the UN-recognized border. The wall is being built near the UN-designated blue line between the two countries, which demarcated Israel's withdrawal from southern Lebanon in 2000. Lebanon has reservations about the location of the line in 13 areas. Heavy snowfall hit Paris and northern France, leading to severe travel disruptions. However, not everyone was put off by the snow, with the Parisians gathering to ski down the fresh snow. The icy weather is a stark contrast from January's mild and rainy weather, which led to severe flooding and swelling of the Seine River. Rio de Janeiro's carnival officially begins today. Workers are busy putting the finishing touches on the city's famed Sambódromo. Rio's Sambódromo is the venue where the city's samba schools come together in a competition judged on elements such as choreography, atmosphere, organization and singing. The procession is famous for its festive atmosphere and colorful processions. Barcelona's beaches were covered with snow on Thursday afternoon. The extreme weather made the temperatures drop as low as minus 21.5 degrees Celsius. The local media reported the snow stayed intact for a few hours before melting. An 18-month-old boy with Down syndrome has been named the spokesbaby of Baby Food Maker for 2018. Lucas Warner of Dalton, Georgia, won Gerber's annual photo contest. Gerber has held the photo contest since 2010. The Warren family will receive $50,000 from Gerber, and Lucas will take a front seat on the company's social media channels. Lucas was born with Down syndrome, a genetic disorder caused when abnormal cell division results in an extra full or partial copy of chromosome 21. Moving on to national stories now, actor and politician Rajinikanth has said only time will tell if he will form an alliance with Kamal Haasan. Rajinikanth confirmed his entry into politics, saying he would float his own political party. Kamal Haasan also announced that he would launch his own political party by the end of February. The two, however, have ideological differences, as Kamal Haasan has said that saffron is not his colour, while Rajinikanth has repeatedly demonstrated his liking for the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Competition Commission of India has found Google to have abused its dominant position in online general web research and web research advertising services in India, and has imposed a penalty of 135.86 crore rupees. The order was passed in response to information filed by Matrimony.com Limited and Consumer Unit. CCI also observed in its order that Google, being the gateway to the internet for a vast majority of the internet users due to its dominance in the online web search market, is under an obligation to discharge its special responsibility. Congress President Rahul Gandhi on Thursday called out Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman for changing her stance on the subject of revealing the cost of Rafale fighter jets. In a snide tweet, Rahul asked why did the Defence Minister change her stance from 2017 and said that she's done so to protect the Prime Minister. The Central Railway received its first newly manufactured Bombardier local train with air conditioning facilities in driver's cabin. The train has been kept at the Kurla car shed, which will be soon commissioned for operation. The train also has fitted LED light, which are provided in all the coaches. Moreover, 6 to 7 CCTV cameras have been installed in each of the 5 ladies' compartments. Moving on to sports now, the countdown has begun for the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang in South Korea, with less than 24 hours to go for the opening ceremony. The games are expected to be the coldest ever, with forecasts of temperatures dropping to as low as -25 degrees due to the wind chill factor. 93 countries are participating, including 168 Russian athletes, who will compete as neutrals countdowns to 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang. The Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS, will announce its verdict on the appeal of 47 Russian athletes who have challenged their exclusion from the Games on Friday. 15 of those athletes were denied an entry to the Olympics despite having their life bans imposed for doping by the International Olympic Committee, overturned by CAS last week. A group of senators in the United States have cut across party lines to demand a probe into the sexual abuse scandal that has rocked American sport. The senators want to probe the role of the U.S. Olympic Committee and U.S. gymnastics and want to know why sexual predator Larry Nassar was allowed to freely abuse gymnasts for decades.